My name is Ali Khangela Hlongwane. I'm in my late 50s, born in Diepkloof, from parents who came to Joburg as migrants from my rural home in Bergville. So I have two loyalties in terms of my background, my childhood in Soweto and the extended family in my rural home in Bergville, where I'm going to retire to. After completing high school, I became part of a theater group called Soweto Institute of African Theater. Studied drama there, but also worked as an actor, and at some point did work as a technician, and at some point became an arts administrator, particularly in the 1990s. So with the organization I was part of, Soweto, we were in the late 80s, located at the Funda Arts Center, which has a special place in the development of community arts. I then worked at the Windybrow Theatre, then left Windybrow Theatre in post-1994. From 1997, I was based at, or became the first chief curator of the Hector Peterson Museum, which was opened to the public in 2020. In terms of my academic background, I studied largely with Wits University, where I did both my master's and PhD were done at Wits in the area. The master's was in biography and society, and the PhD was in the area of heritage studies. And my work experiences has been within those areas: theater, heritage, and writing life histories. History and what we sometimes call heritage, even though the concept heritage has its own conflictual interpretations, it's an ambiguous term, but history or working with the pasts is always important, because the past is always present in the contemporary life we are grappling with. You know that tired saying that every time you move forward, you have to constantly also look back and say, this is where I come from and this is where I'm going. But yes, the study of history enriches our lives and the lives of the society we live in, because as human beings, we are social beings. Well, I have been following the work of JIAS because they are very present in social media. I also happen to know one or two people who got the opportunity to be here at JIAS. So when my contract with the Vets History Workshop came to an end in December, I took the opportunity to apply, and I became one of the successful people. And I'm looking forward to spending the next 4 months here at JIAS, doing the writing work that I'm already on top of. I am writing about Professor Kabir Mugoma, who would have turned 100 years last year in 2021. He has a long history. He grew up here in George Koch, went to KZN, came back again to Johannesburg, studied in a number of historic schools, including St. Peter's, including Adams College in KwaZulu-Natal. He was a teacher of different musical instruments. He played different musical instruments. But what is even more important for me about him is how he engaged the different perspectives on music and styles, whether called Western or called indigenous African, and how he saw synergies between the two, and how he felt that by engaging these and not isolating them into different solid separate spaces would enrich the arts in this country. But most importantly, how he argued very strongly for the integration of arts education in the curriculum of the school system in this country, something we are still grappling with. Of course, then an opportunity came when my publisher turned out to have an archive of his writings in particular that were given to him by Professor Kabir Mugoma, and he felt he owed him a book, and then I became the person chosen to write that book, and I think it's an honor for me.